Considering spending some time in Spain or possibly buying a house here and wondering what the internet is like and what your options are? Well, today I'm going to share with you about the good and the bad of internet in Spain, the deals, and what you need to do to stay connected. Hi, my name is Nicole. Welcome to my channel, Travel to Money. If you're like me, you spend a lot of time on devices working remotely. And if you're like me, you're not just doing simple tasks like sending emails, but you need better data for things like uploading videos, editing websites, video conferencing, and more. When I first bought a home in Spain back in 2018, the internet situation put me through the ringer. So I want to help you avoid that. I also want to give you some good news. As you can imagine, technology is advancing every day and internet options worldwide are getting better and better, and Spain is no exception. A lot of you may follow my channel because of cheap homes I've purchased in Spain. When I first bought a house here, the real estate agent who was helping me took me into a Vodafone, which is a cell phone carrier here, and was translating for me about internet options. I decided on a home internet package along with a cell phone. I ordered a cell phone on Amazon and waited to hear back from the phone company. Long story short, I got the runaround for weeks until they finally decided to let me know that they wanted something like a 700 euro deposit for an unlimited internet plan that was only like 50 euro a month. It was ridiculous. Then I moved on to another company, which I believe was based in England. They were very easy for me to deal with because they spoke English, but again, I ended up getting the runaround, leaving me nearly in tears after not being upfront with me about the amount of time for the setup. I did end up getting internet with them and got a temporary hotspot, but this whole ordeal of getting internet set up in my house took somewhere around 6 or 7 weeks. It was probably the most frustrating part of moving to Spain. I was having to work from coffee shops every day, and let me tell you, Spain isn't set up for coffee shops to be work hubs for remote workers, especially in small towns like where my house is. Coffee shops are usually also restaurants and bars, and when you go for a coffee, it's usually very social with friends or family members, and no one is on their devices. I felt so awkward sitting for hours at my computer in these shops. The chairs weren't comfortable, and the back pain was really getting to me. Anyway, the good news is that now there are much better options. Several years ago, fiber optic came to my little town of Pego, and if it's there, I'm guessing it's in most populated places in Spain. I got it set up in my first house here for just 25 euro per month and speeds of 300 megabits per second. But it gets even better. As many of you know, I sold that first house to some besties from Instagram and am renovating another home just a few doors down. Well, the other day I decided to go ahead and get internet set up. I went back to the store where I had been before. I arrived at 10 a.m., which is an important detail I'll come back to. They had some special offers going on. The most basic offer is for fiber internet at 600 megabits per second for only $19.99 a month for the first 12 months, and it includes a whole year of free Amazon Prime. I use Amazon here all the time, so I was stoked about this. I mentioned that the $19.99 is for the first 12 months. After the 12 months, it goes back up to 25 euro per month. And this is double what the speed used to be. Ever since I got fiber in the first house, I've never had a single problem with the internet. Remember I mentioned going into the store at 10 a.m.? Well, I left by 10:15, and at 10:30, I received a message from the technician that he could be at my house by 11. He was even nice enough to spend more time having the fiber line go over the roof and in through the back of the house. By noon, 2 hours after I walked into the store, my internet was on and working. Before I move on to other options like Starlink, I also want to mention that this internet provider also had other options if you want to add a Spanish phone line. So for example, for $29.99 per month, you get the same package of internet and Amazon Prime I mentioned before, but for just that extra 10 euro per month, you get cell phone service with 35 gigs of data. From there, if you move up to $36.99, you get the internet package, two phone lines with 50 gigs of data, 12 months of Amazon Prime, and 12 months of some sort of free legal service, like access to attorneys for legal advice. I don't know what that has to do with a phone plan, but hey, more free stuff is cool, and if you're new to Spain, you might need some legal advice from time to time. If you're from the US like me, you know that this is one of those things in Spain that is so much more affordable than anything offered to us in the US. And let me tell you, I not only pay more in the US, but my internet isn't this good. Okay, let's talk about another option in Spain. You've probably heard of Starlink. It's the company owned by Elon Musk, where you have a dish pointed toward the sky and generally really good internet. Always connected. Starlink even offers plans now for people who do van life or other traveling options. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't want to pay $120 per month with Starlink. And my reply to that would be, guess what? The very same Starlink is cheaper in Spain. To compete here, they would have to have lower prices. Rather than paying $600 for the dish, in Spain, you currently only pay €225. Rather than paying $120 per month in the US, in Spain, you only pay €40 per month. And if you're interested in the mobile, it is also less in Spain. Now, you might be wondering why you would get Starlink for €40 per month when you could have fiber for €20 per month. There are two main things I want to mention. First of all, fiber isn't available everywhere. For example, my friend has a lovely villa in the Campo outside of Pago, which is sort of like living in the countryside among the orange groves. Regular internet isn't available there, so Starlink is a great option. The other good thing about Starlink is that there are no contracts, so if you just come for 2 or 3 months, you turn it on while you are here and just pay for the months you use it. The main reason I could see wanting to have internet year-round, even if you're not here, is one, for guests who might come and stay at your place, but also if you wanted to have a security system where you would constantly have access to the cameras. Now, if you are coming to stay in Spain for a long holiday and you need to make sure the place you're staying has good internet, I would be sure to ask what kind of internet they have and what the speeds are. If you hear that they have fiber optic or Starlink, I think you're pretty much good to go. Now, if you're traveling and wondering about cell phone data, I have a little info for you too. First of all, if you're traveling from the US, be sure to contact your carrier before you travel to see what kind of international plans they have. T-Mobile has really stepped up their game recently. I don't even have to pay anything extra, and I automatically get data for free, free texting to the US, and as long as I make phone calls with Wi-Fi calling whenever I'm on Wi-Fi, then calling is free too. If I use too much of the mobile data, they do tether it, slowing it down, so I wouldn't binge watch YouTube or Netflix on the mobile data. Save that for when you're on Wi-Fi. But it's so nice that now I don't even have to pay anything extra when I travel. Verizon is still pretty expensive, I believe. You can always put your phone on airplane mode and only use it on Wi-Fi if you're really trying to avoid charges. You may also be wondering about phone or data plans here in Spain. You heard me mention the one from my internet provider in Spain. There are tons of shops here in the local malls where you can go in and find out what kind of eSIM deals they have. You just swap out the SIM in the phone and use the allotted amount of data until it's gone. For example, there is one offer for 40 gigs of data for just €10. There are lots of very reasonable options. You'll just want to make sure your phone is able to have the SIM swapped or get a second phone specifically for traveling. Of course, data plans change all the time, and the internet will continue to become more widely available with even better options in the future. Be sure to do some searching to see what the best options are at whatever point you need the best internet available in Spain for you. If you know of even better options than what I've mentioned here today, let me know in the comments or just say hi. I always love hearing from you and would love to chat with you more there. Do me a big favor, like this video and subscribe to join me every day where travel and adventure build financial freedom. I can't wait to see where your dreams will take you.